And we're going live here on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. Super late. It's almost midday. Almost. It's like almost 10 o'clock. That's okay. We're good. We're good now. I didn't want to rush. First, I was thinking I was going to rush the topic. Then I decided I didn't want to rush the topic. I wanted to have a little bit of conversation, share some thoughts, think about it. And it's about professional product owner. What does that mean? What's the thought? Some little mental exercising there. I was chatting with Vasco Duarte, who is the Scrum, the Scrum Master Toolbox show. Anyway, he's got a PO summit, and it's coming April 23rd to the 25th. It's going to be online and recorded and everything. It's a good summit. His people he works with, they put on some good little summits. It's not too expensive, and it's a good chance to explore things with other professionals in the area. So then the question was, you want to do something like something about professional product ownership. So I was chatting back and forth, and I wanted to share that thought with you all on today's show and see if I can get some feedback from people watching the show. And maybe we even do a meetup group session, not this month, but the following month. Maybe we'll talk about product ownership, the professional product owner. So we'll talk about that. And this 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. So you bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours, bring that value and have a little fun along the way. Speaking of fun, I'm going to put another interview up tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it should be a pretty good one. Carl Freiberg, who is a coach, and talking about, he has a great little story behind him. He's in one of those chain book volumes. I think he was in the volume 19, which mine's 20. And I'm gonna share that interview tonight, and then he's gonna be part of the meetup in 2 weeks for the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum meetup, where we're gonna talk about goals and establishing goals and how to go about doing that. Maybe do an exercise or two during that session. So I'm gonna post that tonight, and it should be pretty fun. Anyway, so stay tuned for that tonight. You can listen to your podcast tomorrow, watch it tomorrow or tonight. I figured I'd get something for the weekend as everyone's getting ready to watch Super Bowl. Anyway, so what's the thought process here? Professional product owner. To me, I'm always talking about being a professional, and a lot of thoughts in my head that are out there. There's certs out there that call themselves a professional product owner. Scrum.org does one. Scrum Alliance does one, and they talk about the professional part. But what does it really mean to be professional? And I want to throw a couple thoughts out there, and I might actually do a program on it and a little presentation on it. But what goes into professional? I have an EIT certificate, which is an engineer in training certificate. And I got that right out of college. I had to take a 4-hour, 2-hour, 4-hour test. It was a tough test. You actually study for these things just to take the EIT. It's not even the PE exam. Though there is a PE exam I didn't do later on because basically I didn't want to get sued. So if you say anything as a PE, you can be liable. So you have to be quiet. But what makes a professional? And I wanted to share that with you and get some feedback and ask questions out there. People listening and my connections and all. What do you think makes a professional product owner? Now, there's some things about being a professional. I have my own personal things, which I'll share later. But one of my thoughts are, you're an expert in your field, right? So you have a lot of learning. I think you have to be a continuous learner because the bar shifts all the time if you want to call yourself professional. When I used to look at structural engineers, they had to go lectures. They have new thoughts, new concepts, new computer software, new theories out there, new materials. It's always new and it's always development. So you're always doing continuous learning, right? So you're an expert in your field. You're always doing continuous learning. I think you're also writing papers, writing stuff out there, sharing in a documented way, facets of what your expertise is as a professional. And then I also think, a couple things. One, there's always a professional society, meeting with other professionals, talking, debating, discussing, changing. what needs to change, what's coming up, and having that verbal discussion among that profession. And then one other thing I like, so I said expertise, right? Continuous learning, right? Um, writing a paper, right? Getting out their documentation, professional organization, right? And then the fifth one is, I would say, mentoring and coaching. How are you with mentoring, coaching other people to move along the chain? Because as we mature in our profession, we need people to take our spots, right? So you need to help mentor people so they come along and fill your spot or even pass you, right? As a professional, you're always encouraged, take my place, pass me, do whatever you want to do. And those five things, I think, are keys to making a professional anything. And in this case, what would those five things entail to become a professional product owner? Now, when I go Google what's professional, I've seen things that have like 17 different things. And only one item says you're an expert, right? And I didn't see the other four that I mentioned, which I think when you are a professional, you do think that way. What I think a true professional is. I've always mentored people, always coached people, whether it be in engineering, project management, Scrum, Agile. I've always done that in my career. I was stuck giving back, joining groups, hosting stuff, um, writing papers on stuff, whether it be a book or writing a small posting in LinkedIn. And speaking of that, if you are thinking about that, and I really want to bring this up, our Slack channel that we have for the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show is a good place to broaden that professionalism. So if any of those five things really resonated with you, join the mailing list, get free access to our Slack channel, and let's talk about it. And if you really want coaching on it, opportunities, I'm offering people chances to publicize articles on the 5ammasterscrum.com blog site. I'll more than happy to share them on our LinkedIn site too. And you can share them on your LinkedIn site. Opportunities to present at the meetup.com, opportunities to be interviewed as a profession, whether it be product owner, agile coach, scrum master, QA, testing, automation, developer, management, any one of those facets you want to become more professional. When you think about those five items I brought up, be an expert in your field, being a continuous learner. What does that mean? What does that involve? Um, writing papers, right? Writing stuff, getting stuff out there published, getting feedback on your thoughts from other people in the profession. And you got to be open to feedback. And that's part of coaching. It's like you got to coach that in. So um, being a member of an organization, sharing that professional organization, taking on roles of hosting stuff and doing stuff. You got to step up to the plate when you want to be at that high level profession. And then lastly, mentoring and coaching other people. In order to mentor and coach, sometimes you need a mentor and coach. I heard a little podcast the other guy was talking about when Zuckerberg was in his 20s. He had a coach, you know, the person that helped put together Facebook and the goals and all that. And he had a coach at some point, even in his 20s, right? And where he wanted to go. And look, they helped build a $1 billion company with the help of some other people that are part of the organization and some of the coaches that helped his thought process along. So I want to share that with you. Those five things, what I think makes a professional. Now, the question is, what would that take to be a professional product owner or even scrum master, or even coach, right? There's professional coaching out there. And I just want to look on my phone real quick, just so I know. So the Product Owner Summit is April 23rd and 25th in 2024, in case you listen to this in the future. But that is the Product Owner Summit. I hope you sign up for it. I think it'll be good. And like I always encourage people like Coach, is that these are opportunities for you to grow in the profession. One day attend the summit. Maybe next year you present at the summit, some facet of being a product owner. And then he also does an agile online summit. And maybe one day you go to the Agile Online Summit, and the next year you present something. But you got to go and attend, see what's out there, absorb some of the stuff, and then figure out how you might add to society, right, as a professional. So I wanted to throw that out there. I would love to hear feedback from everyone. What are your thoughts on being a professional product owner? I'll put up a couple posts up there, but I'd be curious on what your thoughts are on that. So that's what I have today. So it's a 10 minute. I said did 10 minutes. So I didn't have much time. I only had like 5 minutes. I had to go over and help facilitate a scrum. But it's just something to think about. I wanted to make sure I covered that. All right, everyone, have a great day. Happy scrumming. We will see you tomorrow on Fun Friday. Take care.